Thank you for tuning into the Star Bandits podcast. I'm your co-host, Marcus Delzell.
I'm Israel.
I'm Junaid.
Howdy, I'm Robbie Bland.
Today, Caleb did not want to join us. We woke up early today to record the episode, and he said no. So today's going to be a Caleb-less episode, like good old times. But
We do not have a guest to replace him.
yeah, you're just going to have to deal with us four bozos. How is everybody doing?
I am really tired. I probably could have gotten a decent sleep last night, but I stayed up like watching a movie because I was like, if it's gonna be at 10, I'll be able to wake up.
What movie was it?
The Departed. It was,
Fuck yeah,
it
man.
was pretty all right.
Is it
I
your first time
originally-
seeing it?
Well, I originally first saw it when I was younger, like when I was like 15 or 16, and I really didn't like it because. And it kind of still stayed true a little bit when I was first watching it again, because like the first act has like some of the most like shitty editing I've ever seen. Like there are like scenes where like a character's being zoomed in on and it'll cut off immediately, and they'll go back to the character that was talking, and they'll have a cigarette in their hand while they're smoking. And like in the previous like cut, they didn't have any cigarette, or they weren't reaching for one. So it's like this is just like a small example, but. Like there were like some kind of like funny editing moments. Yeah.
That movie has my favorite premise of
no.
all time.
What is-
It has a great premise.
What is the
Yeah.
premise of the movie?
So there is one mole in the police academy, and he is working for the mafia. And the police put a mole in the mafia that is working for
Yep.
the police. And they both know of each other, and they have to find each other.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
It's awesome.
That's a cool
It's-
premise.
It has probably one of the most satisfying endings ever, too.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's
it's
cool.
like, because leading up to it, you're like, what the fuck? And then the ending happens, you're like, okay, I like this. It's still good throughout, even like if it was to end the way that it didn't. It would still be pretty good. And it was like, I did accidentally like see a meme where I got the ending spoiled for me. But it was
You
still,
do that all the time.
Yeah, but this one was intentional. Like I didn't go looking for it. Like because
You like spoiling movies for yourself.
I like spoiling movies for myself where I don't care about the movie because
How do you know you don't care if you don't even watch it?
usually like I'll just know ahead of time that I just won't like it. Like if
That is so false.
I mean, like we watched Palm Springs yesterday and I didn't like it much. And I watched like spoiler reviews to where I already knew I wasn't gonna like it. It kind of with Palm Springs.
Palm Springs is a good movie, by the way. You should go check it out.
I really like that
I
movie.
Yeah.
kind of just wanted to rewatch Groundhog's Day throughout it because it was kind of the same minus the violence and
It wasn't the
science.
same.
It's
Yeah.
the same premise.
It's
Right.
it's a
Well-
very similar premise, but they go about it differently. And
Yeah.
they do.
But Groundhog's Day is like, we should probably,
Groundhog is
we
like
should probably get to everybody first, so how they're doing.
Groundhog's Day is like the base level, like the foundation of the premise, and then Palm Springs is it acknowledges that Groundhog Day is a movie basically, and like the same rules apply.
They never acknowledged the movie. Do you mean like?
I mean, they acknowledge the rules in the premise.
okay.
So like
Yeah.
like if you can't kill yourself to get out of it. You can't do this and that to get out of it. Like the rules are the same, but instead of there being a reason why they're in there is no reason why they're in there.
Well, I think the same is in Groundhog's Day.
Well,
like,
in
just time
Groundhog
keeps
Day, he
resetting.
it was a selflessness thing, wasn't it?
It was like he's a
Yeah.
selfish piece of shit.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
the
ungrateful
same-
for everything.
The same was for the main character in the movie, though. Like he was doing a bunch of selfish
Yeah,
shit.
but
as we
he
figure
wasn't
out.
he wasn't in there for being selfish.
Yeah,
he was
but-
in there for no reason.
but
He was in
then-
there because he went into the cave.
Right, but then like
But along the way, he found himself.
and same in Groundhog's Day, he eventually finds himself and he finds love.
He does, yeah.
And then like he finds a way out of it, and then he goes on like reckless rampages, and he eventually gets used to it. Minus the science shit in Palm Springs, though, and
There was no science shit in Palm
well, I
Springs.
mean, no, there wasn't a scene in Groundhog's Day where it was like, physics do this and this and this. And that's not a complaint with Palm Springs. I actually kind of liked how they went into it a little bit because they involve like physics. Because when this is like a small spoiler, when one of the characters like goes to a hole in the wall diner and starts learning all this science stuff about why this is kind of happening or trying to get out of it. Um, but I don't know. It had like a little bit of the same premise, except Palm Springs was also a little more romantic, and there was a little bit of a romantic character in Groundhog's Day. I need to watch Happy Death Day though. I heard that's actually a really good spin on the living the same day every day again and again thing.
I liked Palm Springs.
Yeah.
I liked Palm Springs too. And Groundhog Day is also like a romance story.
Yeah.
Like half of the plot is Bill Murray's character romancing the woman character. in the
Yeah.
movie.
Mhm.
I didn't hate it though. Like it was just like yeah, it exists. Like it's not like a worst or
Did
bad.
you get it spoiled for you?
Yeah, because I kept like hearing from like some people I followed. It's a lot like Groundhog's Day, and I was like, it
Oh
can't-
no, I knew that. I meant, did you get Groundhog's Day spoiled for you?
Do you?
No, I watched that in my film academy class, and like we had to like it hindered my enjoyment a little bit because we had to fucking do work while watching it. I hate that shit because you're gonna probably work for me watching it, then I'm gonna be pissed a little bit. Like just let me enjoy the movie and then tell me afterwards you have to have work. But it was like bullshit work too, so I shouldn't be complaining. Like I think it was like, what did the themes mean and how many times did he die? Because there's a scene where they like show a bunch of montages of him dying, and it's like so many. So that was like fun to like count and keep track of.
Bullshit work is always worth complaining over. It's bullshit.
Imagine getting a bullshit degree at a bullshit school.
Yeah.
Could never be me.
Imagine going to high school and being there for 8 hours a day and your teacher just gives you busy work because they're too
Yeah.
lazy to actually give you something worthwhile.
Oh, that's you. How are you, Junaid?
I'm good. Yesterday after Palm Springs, I went to bed and actually Brandon and I listened to the Gorillaz album, Demon Days, and like it was on vinyl, and yeah, I went to sleep listening to that, and I absolutely loved it. And upon which, like in the night, I was just like fucking attacked by something that was just I was just scratching my entire body. I don't know what it was.
Oh damn.
Yeah, but that was happening, and I realized I didn't wash my sheets in a while, so that may
Ah.
be part of it. But yeah, I'm a little, I don't know, groggy in the morning, but
Mm.
nothing a shower can't like remedy, you know?
Yeah.
Showers are broken.
Showers are broken. You know that I can't, I'm pretty sure it was in 2017 when they re-released the Demon Days on vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, from the time it came out, which was like 2005, 6, do you know what year what it came out?
I think it was 6.
Okay, so 2006 to 2017, that there was only one release of the vinyl, and for that amount of years, it was going for $300 on eBay
Fuck that.
for that long amount of time, because apparently it was famous for this. They released it on vinyl, which was at the time the best version of the album,
Mhm.
because whenever they turned it into digital, the compression was weird, and apparently it fucked it up a lot. And so there's a lot of like uncompression, or I mean, vinyl's not even compressed, like file size. So, but the digital version is a lot, and so people, apparently it's notorious for that, and that the vinyl fixes all those problems.
Oh, so like the songs I was listening to on Spotify are completely different than the vinyl?
Apparently.
Because I've listened to these songs and like I was like, they're okay. Some of them are okay. And then I listened to the vinyl last night and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also has one of the things that I like in albums where they put an intro, an intro song, and it immediately sets a mood for the entire album and how it's going to go in each song, but they're not the same song. You know?
How do y'all feel about skits on albums? Because I've heard mixed things.
Skits on albums?
Skits. You know what that is?
Yeah, I know what
If
a
it
skit
goes
is.
with the overall theme of it, you know, like I think Kanye did one where it's just like he puts like another black artist's like song, his lyrics, and it's just politically driven and like race driven, and he just puts like a beat behind it. That's all he does.
Yeah.
But I think that ended his album, and I think that was a good end to like all the themes that he was talking
Yeah.
about.
Is Giorgio the Marauder a skit? Giorgio the
I don't
Marauder
know.
is a song on Random Access Memories.
There are some skits that
Daft
will
Punk.
they'll well, they'll have like either the lead of the album or like two different people that they get to voice act for the album, like talk, like an actual like skit that doesn't really involve music.
Mhm.
Like that's kind of skit that I mean. Like
Yeah,
Ah.
because that sounds more like an interlude or an outro, if anything, than a skit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't like this what I was talking about, Georgie the Marauder, a Daft Punk song. It was just this guy that inspired the group, and he was just talking over this beat.
It
that
could
they made.
easily be. It could easily be a separate song. Like
It was a separate song.
no, like the intro of it, just the part where they interview him,
Mhm.
basically, and then in the album it would finish that, and then it would start the actual song. It could easily
Nice.
be that.
Yeah.
What are some of y'all's favorite albums?
Honestly, okay, Demon Days is up there.
Uh-huh.
Plastic Beach is up there from the Gorillaz, but I don't know why I don't listen to a lot of albums, but the albums that I do listen to, Gorillaz, Daft Punk is up there, Justice is up there, because they have some really good albums, and like the albums are almost better to listen to whole than the individual songs.
Mhm.
Because a lot of those, especially I can't remember Daft Punk's Discovery album and Justice's Cross album. They do that thing that Pink Floyd does sometimes, where like you can play the whole thing from start to finish, and they
Yeah.
like fade into each other, kind of.
Yes.
And they just become the other song. Yeah, I like that. I know it's gimmicky, but I really like that.
What about you, Janaid?
Some of my favorite songs. I like folk music a lot. The 1963 album by Bob Dylan called "The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan"
Uh-huh.
is one of my favorite songs. It's also one of the simplest. Like he has very simple songs to play, but the lyrics are always just like really really good. Much better than like even 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Still really good. Apart from that, I would say that Deep Purple has really good songs, like a 70s album.
Uh-huh.
I think it's called Hush, the album, and I love that one too.
Yeah. For me, like kind of like Marcus, I don't really listen to too many albums. Like for music, I kind of just will find what's in my recommended and listen to it, or I'll see people using it in like an Instagram post or a meme or anything really, and I'll be like, oh shit, or like I'll hear it like y'all listening to something on the radio, and then or on the car radio or speakers. But I mean, really, my favorite albums are either Ready to Die by Biggie or the Marshall Mathers LP. And I think mainly I like them because they encapsulate such a really good time in both of the artists' life, where they're just both dealing with fame and their past at the same time, and kind of how it all mixes together, and like how they kind of don't understand fame, but how they kind of do, and just like how they deal with it and their introduction to the world. And there's also like a little bit of history to them because they were both like really big in the hip hop scene. So it's like there's so much like context to where this was also going on when they made the album that makes it like, you know, a lot more interesting
Right.
for me.
Albums that are culturally relevant for their time are very very like I like those a lot too.
Yeah.
I think that it's just albums for me, they like it's right now that is
Yeah.
my favorite. Like tomorrow probably will be different and all. You know.
I don't usually have like a favorite kind of deal
Mhm.
sometimes. Like,
Speaking
It depends.
of cultural relevance,
oh yeah, how are you?
of all the albums I've listened to, which is not very much because I'm not a very avid music consumer, my favorite album has to be Nostalgia Critic's The Wall.
Oh,
I thought
man.
you were gonna say
You
Sugar
know,
Rush by Ike Wyatt.
because he has a lot of just great content
yeah,
in there. I
no.
love his reviews.
no,
He's a very
he's got-
funny and talented guy.
Nostalgia
no.
critic.
Yeah. And he definitely didn't,
Dude, that guy
Just
has to be
shit the
thrown
bed.
in a pit.
Atop
Does-
the fourth wall is
Does
pretty
Nostalgia
good.
critic, does he gatekeep? Is he a gatekeeper?
No, he's just
Don't know.
he's just a R word.
Honestly,
Hard R.
I said that because I just wanted to piss Israel off.
It didn't piss
But
me
it
off.
didn't
It would
work.
piss off. No, it wouldn't piss me off. I like Nostalgia Critic jokes. It'd probably piss off some of our music fans, Liz.
Really? You like Nostalgia Critic?
No, I like making jokes about
Okay,
them. Yeah,
okay.
no, I don't like. I used to like them when I was like a kid, but
Mhm.
like you learn better, and
Right.
like you look back and you're like, what the fuck, you know? But
No, Israel called it right. It's obviously Ike Wyatt's Sugar Rush
Yep.
because that's the only album I've actually listened to that isn't Filthy Frank's Pink Season.
and Caleb, what do you like? I like rock. I like stone.
Rock and Stone.
hit them together.
I like music.
Rub Stick Fire.
Music not working out.
Caleb's
Music
favorite
not working.
album
I do dumpster fire.
is probably a
Raw
Gorillaz
meat
album.
not working out. Make fire.
Oh man.
What's your what kind of music do you listen to, Robbie?
Just
Nerdcore.
random fucking bullshit. I think
Star Wars.
I heard that
I
I
think,
should.
yeah,
I heard that you
Israel's-
have a CD in your car that I should listen to. What's on that
It
CD?
broke. His CD player broke though.
I used to burn CDs that were just songs I liked.
And what were the songs? Caleb told me about it. He
Well,
said,
Caleb's the worst person to talk to because he has no idea what's on that CD.
Well,
because
okay.
he just assumes the worst about
Let me
my
give you some
taste in music.
context. I was driving him somewhere and I was playing Mr. Douchebag by Your Favorite Martian.
That's definitely not on the CD.
And he said we got to the destination and he said, "This was the worst car ride ever." And I said, "I didn't think it was that bad." And then he was like, "Oh no, it was fine. It was just the music. You should listen to Robbie's CD. It's Troll." And then I was like, "What's on his CD?" And he was like, "Fucking epic rap battles,
Nope.
barnyard Star Wars music."
I mean, I have one song
So
from.
did he make it? Did he make all this up?
He makes the epic rap battles up part.
Oh, but Star Wars and Barnyard are still on there.
I have like 2 metal covers of the Star Wars themes, like Duel of the Fates and The Empire
Mhm.
Strikes Back. There's this YouTuber I follow called like E331 Rock or something like that. And he does
He's
like
really good. I
really
like him a
good
lot.
metal covers. So I have his metal covers of 2 Star Wars themes. Yeah. I also have his metal cover of Daredevil's theme, which is fucking awesome to blast.
He is known in the community of guitar players as the one guy who just like he's really good, and every solo he does, he's doing the weirdest smirk. He's
Yeah,
smiling at
yeah.
the same time.
I love watching him play
Yeah.
when I watch his videos. He also did a cover of the Mandalorian theme, which is fucking awesome as well. So I have those. And then I have my favorite song, which is the I Won't Back Down cover from the Barnyard soundtrack, because that movie and song meant a lot to me as a kid. Which I guess is, really troll to have a favorite song that isn't a regular normal artist or whatever. But
You're not like other girls.
yeah, whatever.
You are not.
And then Israel called it, I think it's called like nerdcore or something. Like I follow a bunch of YouTube rappers that just make raps about comic book characters or Dragon Ball or whatever.
hmm
And
What's your favorite Dragon Ball rap?
I couldn't tell you.
There's this
I-
one guy that that always has like the same flow and voice pattern, and he's usually like rapping about Goku. He's like, and then Goku died and ate a pie, and it's like, oh my god,
I have no
vocals are-
idea what he's talking about.
like,
I don't
the
either,
main
but it
vocal
sounds
guy that you listen
amazing.
to that's always like angry and rapping about Goku or Broly, and he like always sounds like you do know what I'm talking about. Don't be a troll, little
No.
bitch. What's the guy that you listen to?
I listened to like 3
But the
different
main guy who
guys.
like is always like screaming, and like has like the same like growly voice.
I
don't
I was in
know.
the car with one of my friends one time, and he was really into SoundCloud music, and he really liked this one SoundCloud rapper, and he played the song in my car, and I was listening to it, and it was like the song was a story about something that sounded vaguely familiar, about this guy who has a younger brother and wanted to protect him, and so he left his village, and and then in this song he says the name of the character who I was thinking of, which is Itachi from Naruto. And I was like, you know the song is about Naruto, right? And he's like, wait, what? No way. What? No. And then he didn't listen to it anymore. And he didn't listen to the guy anymore because
Oh my
he
God.
listened to his songs about these people with interesting lives and didn't realize that they're all anime characters that for some reason he can't accept. And so he just stopped listening to the artist altogether,
Holy shit.
even though he liked their music.
I don't understand that.
I
at
don't
all.
either.
I unapologetically like comic books and anime, and so if you
it was a good song.
if you make a really cool song about
Mhm.
Broly, I'm gonna listen to it and
Okay.
jam out to it. I also follow this artist named Miracle of Sound, and one time I came home and was blaring one of his songs in my car, and you're like, "Oh, what's that?" And he made a song about Final Fantasy.
Ooh.
And you listen, you either listen to it or not. I sent it to you, but like Miracle of Sound, the guy's name is Gav. He does like music inspired by like video games or movies or whatever, and everything he makes is a genuine like piece of art. Like he's a very, very, very talented guy.
That's cool.
And so I have like a shit ton of his songs, and then just other songs that were impactful to me in life at one point or another.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have my own taste in music, but it's not just troll shit. I don't appreciate that characterization at all.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I think Caleb talked it up a little too
If it's
much.
not his music taste, it's obviously trash.
Yeah.
It's not
yeah.
troll to me, but it's just funny, like just to think about, like, cause like it's so different from what everybody else listens to. Cause like usually like music is very conformed in this little ball of like, this is my experience, this is what's going on in the world, and then it's like you listen to like Dragon Ball stuff, and that's not an insult because like I used to like listen to a little bit of nerdcore when I was like in high school.
Oh, I totally did it.
but I never like
Oh, also JoJo OPs. I have all of them.
Okay,
I
yeah.
actually have like
Anime openings are like god tier music.
True.
I have like not just the regular OPs, but then like English covers and Spanish covers.
Wow.
Because I like listening to it from as
Mhm.
many angles and voices as possible.
Cool.
There was a time where I had YouTube Premium just to listen to Naruto, the first opening.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, when I was a child, there was a Valerian and Laureline, like a cartoon, which has one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go on YouTube before, like just every like maybe week and check if someone posted it. And for 3 years they didn't, and then finally they did. So I like saved all of them. There was that, and there is one like cover of there was one live version of a song from Dire Straits. That was like they made a 6 minute they expanded it to 17 minutes on stage.
Wow.
And yeah, I paid $15 a month just for these 3 videos.
it's
it-
worth.
it was
I mean,
awesome.
if that's what you listen to, it's worth.
Yeah.
I think about that sometimes. Like, whenever I pay for Spotify Premium, and I have paid for Spotify since I was in like high school,
Mhm.
and what's it called? Like sometimes I'll just listen to the same 5 songs, and it's like, am I paying this money to listen to the same 5 songs
Mhm.
every month? Like I could just download the songs and then listen to them on my own.
I have found that I guilt press Discover Weekly a lot.
It takes me so much effort to do that.
Yeah, because I know I will like some of it,
Yeah.
but then it's like I have to do so much. There's so much effort to it
Yeah.
to like something new.
And then I worry that like I only listen to 5 songs, so how the fuck is Spotify gonna know what I want to listen to?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting.
I know that like music makes us all feel a certain way, but how does anime like make y'all like feel like in terms of just like energized or anything like that? Like energized?
Well, I'll tell you what. One Piece makes me want to sail the world.
Really? I think
Fuck
like
yeah.
I finished a little bit of Demon Slayer and I never like brought it back up. But god damn, like the first half of the show that I watched makes me want to fucking work out like
Mhm.
really hard. Like
You-
I want to like go out and like punch trees and like kick people and like get beat up and then like cry.
Yeah. That's there's a lot of animes that make you feel that way.
Yep.
One Piece does do that to you.
Yeah.
It makes you just want to go on adventures everywhere you go. Try to save the people wherever you go. It's really awesome.
Like just go to Egypt and save poverty and then leave.
Yeah.
That's what they would do in One Piece. It'd be so cool to do something like that. And they do it all in a day.
Yeah.
Like they'll sail somewhere and then over the course of one day they'll like save the corrupt government from and it takes place in one day and it's over 100 episodes that one day.
It's also like, you know, when you watch Death Note, you really know at every point that this is not the real world because they're so
Yeah.
smart. I can't do that. This is really out there. I'm watching a screen. But when I watch One Piece, so it's so goofy and like stupid sometimes that it's like you feel like you're really in it and you could be part of this at any point.
Yeah. I feel like the only realistic quote unquote, is like Death Note. But as you kind of said, it kind of does feel like I'm watching a script at times too. Like,
Right.
But it's still pretty all right. But it kind of does, feel like a script. Now that like I think about it, it's like they don't know that I have a chip up my camera up my potato chips or whatever the fuck.
Death Note is realistic up to the point they introduce L.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the second
Because-
half.
Yeah,
of
I
the
can agree with
season-
that.
and
Yeah.
The second
Like-
half of the season doesn't live up to the first. I think it's
L
not bad. But
Is definitely not a real person. If he was, he would be like 400 pounds.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
And-
his thing is that he thinks so hard that
Yeah.
which is a thing. Chess players at tournaments burn 6,000 calories a day.
Wow.
just like looking and sitting in one place.
No, just thinking as
Oh,
hard as
but,
they
I
possibly
mean,
can.
really?
and
chess
concentrating
players-
on everything.
Also, don't eat cake every like hour of the
That's
day
true.
and
That's
not
true.
sleep.
That's true.
Golden
Al
Boy?
would have died from a heart attack way before his
Yeah.
name was written in any book. And Light is just a regular like student who's really gifted, but then he gets the Death Note, meets a Shinigami, and then becomes ultra god tiered
Yeah.
strat level. So, but I like Death Note a lot.
I like Death Note. I rewatched it and I wanted so I first watched it in like 2014 when it was like first super popular. Or I guess it got a repopularity wave and I loved it. And then I rewatched it sometime last year and I wanted to see if it made sense where they draw their conclusions anytime something like that happens. Cause like they're thinking the whole time. And obviously the writer knows everything and has to limit the character's perspective so that they have to discover and find out and make conclusions and stuff like that. And I wanted to see how many times or what was obvious of like, there's no way they could have known this, or there's no way they could have figured this out. And it does happen a few times, and it really takes me out of it.
without like the script allowing them to, kind of deal.
No, it's just that like one time, spoiler alert, when they introduced Nier into the show, and he's trying to find the killer,
Yeah.
and this is like the roughest example of this. He was trying to find the killer, and he was standing in a room with a bunch of TVs on every single channel. And he was like, he closed his eyes and he was like, I got it. And then he like turned his head towards one TV and he was like, that's the guy. And it was him, but there's no way that he could have known that.
Yeah.
Like he had zero leads on this guy.
Yeah. I mean, by the time Nier is introduced, the writing gets a little shoddy because
It does.
And they make
L
Nier-
is removed from the story, and the Light and L dynamic was just so good.
So good.
It was
And it's
awesome.
very,
Yeah.
very hard to just start fresh from that.
Yeah. Spoiler alert for people who haven't watched Death Note, but I
Skip
think
ahead like 15 or 20 seconds if you're interested.
I
we'll be talking about it longer than that.
I think the way L dies is perfect.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think at the point he leaves the story,
Which is so hard.
it
because-
is perfect.
Yeah, he dies so Light couldn't even kill him.
Yeah.
So he had to leverage a god of death to do it for him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is awesome. But like from a writing perspective, it's like it's difficult to come back from that and bring a
Yes.
new set of antagonists for the main character.
I think the writer did well with what they did, introducing Nier and Mello, and then having that dynamic
Yeah.
all the way up to the end.
It was
I think
interesting.
The
It was interesting.
ending of Death Note is a perfect ending.
Oh,
to
it
Death
is.
Note.
Oh,
It
yeah,
is like
yeah,
a
yeah.
good
Yeah,
ending.
Light-
it is.
Yeah.
Light got exactly what he
just- yeah.
deserved. And if you've only watched the anime ending, read the manga ending because that is perfect.
That one's pretty good too.
The only problem I have with Nier and Mello is that they're really forced on you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like you have no idea.
There's
that
no
they
setup.
exist. Yeah, there's no setup.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, by the way, he's been funding the school.
Yeah,
And you just they just go there.
By the
Yeah.
way, there's these two other really smart people
Yeah.
who are
In-
smart as L.
In
And
fairness, L is the same when
L
he's
is the same.
introduced.
That's true. That's true.
But it's better to
they
have
already
L.
did it, and so
Yes.
they did it again, but with two more characters after already. Yeah, and so it. But I do kind of like that. I hate Mello, but I like.
Oh,
that,
I hate him too.
I like that Mello. Like Nier and Mello are in a competition to get the Death Note. And they both split off and then try to do it their own way. Nier sides with the United States FBI, whatever, and that's what he's doing. And Mello goes to the mafia, and then he starts his own mafia, and then he tries to do it that way, and he's like a crime boss, which is pretty interesting because he's like, I don't know, 13,
yeah,
15.
something like that.
I didn't like how Nier literally just looked like L, just with white hair, and he was short.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they just went for a completely different character design to like make the world feel a
Yeah.
lot more different.
That's another reason why I liked
Yeah,
Mello.
'cause I
Like,
was-
keep in mind, I hated Mello, but
'cause-
he was at least interesting and different.
I thought I think I remember seeing pictures of Mello, and I was like, oh, is that like the L guy? Did like his hair is white now? Like, did he like go through a rebirth and he's like Gandalf the White or some shit? But I was like, no.
I mean, in a way, that is exactly
Yeah.
what that character is supposed to serve as.
Yeah.
And the whole time he's
I
like,
love-
I couldn't do it without you, L.
I
Yeah.
loved when Nier was wearing the L mask when he confronted Light.
yeah.
Because, I mean, that-
yeah.
Is literally the whole point of his character is that L
L.
did not die
Yeah.
in vain, and he is still around there at the very end.
Yeah.
Even if it's only spiritually.
How did
Yeah.
he get How did he get an L mask? Do they just have like masks come in now?
Dude, the kid has
He
a
is-
shit ton of toys.
Yeah.
He probably made one or had one made for him. He also, has the entire like FBI working with him. They
Yeah.
can get him anything.
I'm not complaining. I was just asking.
Yeah.
What's another mystery like novel or manga?
Honestly,
Then-
I
Yeah,
wanted
like-
to say as far as like
The covers to Animorphs are some
Fucking
fucking
cat.
mysteries.
as far as there was a cat meowing. As far as anime has ever made me feel,
Mm-hmm.
the only anime I've ever like hardcore emotionally connected with and like left the anime with a feeling other than wow, that was really good and I liked that was JoJo,
Mm.
because I don't know, JoJo as a show is just very much about being yourself and finding your place in the world and making your place in the world, but also it's a show about like fate, like you have a fate, you are going to end up somewhere, but it also along the way implies that you make your own fate most of the time
Mhm.
and that you have to work
Uh-huh.
to get places. And I don't know, the show just I watched it at a very pivotal point in my life when I was thinking about leaving school. And I'm not going to say that I left school because JoJo made me feel really good, but very much I connected with a lot of the show's themes, and I was like, I don't feel happy in school and I shouldn't be in school, so I'm going to pursue a different path. And I don't know, I was watching JoJo at the time, and it just felt like the right time to watch the show
I
because
think
it
one of
connected
my
with me.
one of my favorite animes, now that I'm like really thinking about it, I think we probably talked about is Kill la Kill, and that's
I
mainly
love
because,
Kill la Kill.
Mainly because Kill la Kill is like I at least I interpret it as like a parody of animes, and I really like that because they play off the sexuality of women, the overdone powers, and how big people can be, and just outlandish shit that like never really gets too made fun of as far as I know in anime, which I like.
I know that One Punch Man is also a self-aware anime too, right? Kind
Yeah,
of.
it's
Yeah.
very self-aware.
I haven't watched that, but I'd be down to watch it sometime.
It's really funny too.
Yeah.
Like it makes fun of like one of the main jokes is like Saitama, the main character,
Yeah.
hates when people give backstories because like he's so strong that he can beat anybody with one punch.
Yeah.
And so whenever an enemy comes to him, he knows he can already beat them.
Yeah.
And then they start telling him his backstory and all that. And like for no reason, he's like really upset about it. And he's like, just get to the point. Like, I just want to fight you and get this over with.
That's awesome.
Which is cool because like if it was Naruto, they would do like 25 episodes of backstory and then
You're just like, I don't get why like people love to burn money at that point, because it's like you have all these episodes of like, I'm just talking about general TV shows too as well, like where you like spend time building up a mystery character or just like a villain, and you explain them more and more and more, and it's just like you don't gotta build it up like this much. Like I get like for some writers they just won't know how to, while other writers are like, oh, I'm smart, let me write it in like 2 or like 20 minutes of this episode, you know?
that's probably
but-
why the Joker's so popular.
Yeah, because the Joker like doesn't really have an origin, and like when he does, it's like it's not really, you don't know if it's truth or not, I
Yeah.
guess. But yeah, it just really depends on, I guess, the writing team and also who it's marketed at.
The latest origin story of the Joker that I read was that he's always been in Gotham. Like he's always been this sort of power, this guy, the pale man that has always been there even before they settled in Gotham City. And he's always been a villain that caused destruction, and that he's only then been like fought against when the Batman came around.
That's kind of interesting, but it's kind of like,
Yeah.
where's the fun?
I'm not a big fan of the haunted Gotham kind
Yeah.
of
right.
lore that they try to build. I'm a bigger fan of Joker being a response to Batman.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
Batman
I agree with that.
coming onto the scene.
What's the haunted Gotham thing?
It's basically like Gotham was cursed many years ago, and it's the reason why there's so much fucking crime and it never
Oh.
will end. And it's kind of like, okay, like why not just have like
That's silly.
why not just have like a fucked up city and there's like not really too much hope, you know? Like,
I mean, it's supposed to be modeled after like New York
Chicago.
City. Oh, Chicago.
no, I was saying Chicago just because that's what I
just
think of.
Just a
shithole
crime-ridden
city.
city.
Yeah, Detroit. What up?
Gotham, because Batman is the most popular and best-selling character in comics, has been to a lot of places.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne himself has also been to a lot of places. Like at one point in the comics, he was just time traveling and reincarnating all throughout Gotham's history.
Yeah, that was an interesting storyline. Where he becomes like a fucking caveman,
Yeah.
and, like
Yeah, I
pirate,
remember that.
pirate Batman.
pioneer.
There's
That's a
all kinds
thing?
of
Pirate
yeah.
Batman.
And it's literally just like Batman, but just in a pirate suit. And it's
Does
really,
Batman ever
it's
fuse?
really troll.
Does he ever like fuse into someone?
Probably.
He probably has.
It's probably happened before that him and Superman have had to share the same body or body swapped or something.
With prep time, Batman can beat Goku. I hate those Batman prep time memes, or just the general fight.
I
things.
love it because you have to come up with really good reasons on what Batman would come up with
Batman
to do
can kill
something like that.
Galactus.
That all
Because-
started because Batman v Superman, right?
No, it's been a meme
It's been
for
a thing for
years.
a
because
long
It's
time.
like it's Batman. He's the world's greatest detective kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's because Batman exists in the DC universe and he's just supposed to be a man with a utility belt.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're a writer and you're like, I want to make Batman fight Superman, obviously Batman is hardcore outmatched.
Mhm.
And so you need to give Batman a leg up. And so that leg up was always prep time. It's,
Yeah.
oh, Batman has a plan for this, and Batman has a plan for that. And Batman can beat the whole Justice League because he has this contingency and that contingency, and he's mathematically calculated this, and he has this item here.
That sounds
It's-
silly.
I would
it's
love-
troll.
I would love to see a Batman story, like a movie, where it's like Knives Out, and he has to actually figure out all this stuff.
Yeah.
I
in
think that's
small-
what the next Batman
Where he
movie with the Riddler is
actually-
gonna be.
Really?
Yeah, that's.
I
it's
would
a
love
murder-
that.
It's going to be a murder mystery because it's, well, you know, it's Riddler, but I think there's also some underlinings because the director or the writers said that it's going to be based off of the Long Halloween storyline from Batman.
I love that
And that
story.
one's like a long, like every holiday there's somebody important murdered in Gotham, and you don't really know who it is. Like it's like it like it doesn't turn out to be who you think it is, and I don't even think the person is in a rogues gallery of Batman. Sorry to spoil it, but not really. But it's a decent twist and a decent story, and I think that's what they're gonna go for, while also having like some villains in between. So
Hmm.
it should be interesting. I get a 7 vibe from that Batman movie, which is nice.
Me too. Watching the trailer, it feels very much like what Seven felt like watching.
I'm
Mhm.
super pumped up to see
Um,
it. Robert Pattinson, I think, is going to
Yeah.
do an excellent job.
I think
He
he will.
probably
Yeah.
will. That was one of our first scrapped episodes when we were first starting it, where they
Oh
they
yeah,
reacted to it, and it didn't turn out well because you can't see what the fuck we're thinking or the trailer. Like I don't know why.
well that part was cut out.
Yeah, I know. No, I mean like the whole episode, but I was just like the general basis of like
no,
why we did
it doesn't
that.
matter. But
Okay.
yeah,
I honestly like how paranoid Batman is written sometimes,
mhm.
and that he's so obsessive about living in a world full of gods that he feels like he has to come up with contingencies on what if any one character goes wrong.
yeah.
And so I honestly like the Batman like prep time meme, because what the fuck would Batman even come up with if he had to take down Goku, you know?
Yeah.
Because Goku doesn't have an exploitable weakness like kryptonite for Superman, you
Yeah.
know? And so I like that, because when like fanboy people start like raging and they're like, no, Batman could do it, they have to like write what he would use to beat Goku.
I like how Goku's one weakness was that he can't time travel, or he can't pause time.
Yeah.
and
probably-
so then he goes up against somebody who can pause time, and he beat the shit out of him. And then he's like, how can he do that? How did he hit me? What's going on? And then he's like, oh, he must have paused time. Let me do that. And then he does it.
It'd probably be like
What?
Yeah.
He does that?
Yeah,
Super
he-
Goku is something else.
He pauses time.
Oh my god.
Like, okay, there's this character named Hit, and he's an alien hitman.
He's a hitman.
He's really cool. Like, he'll hit you in just one move by like doing this to your heart, and then your heart stops. Like he'll just like finger gun your heart, and then you're dead.
Damn.
And like his body is poison. He has a bunch of poison weapons, and if you get hit by it, you're either paralyzed or you straight up die, and all this stuff. But in addition to that, his punches can rupture all of your organs, and he will hit you by pausing time, running up to you, and then hitting you. And as soon as he hits you, time unpauses. And it's not that he's pausing time, it's just that he is so incredibly fast that he can do that. Like faster than what the fight scenes in Dragon Ball Z already are, to the point where nobody else is moving at that moment but him. And so all the gods of death and the angels and stuff that were watching that fight knew what was going on, I think. But Goku didn't. And then he figured it out because he was like, how could this happen? Only if he paused time. Let me do that. And then he does.
Damn.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is broken.
I love Dragon Ball.
I think Batman would like some troll shit would be like somehow Batman is able to reverse engineer Superman's blood so he can inject it himself and he has Superman's powers, and then Batman just beats Goku that way.
If he takes Compound V.
Yeah,
But
that
something
too.
about Batman is he's also very paranoid and untrusting of power
Yeah.
like that. Like the idea of
I think Batman has broken that rule a couple times. So
I mean, he's broken every rule he's ever had at one point in the comics
Yep.
because writers
are retarded. It's not they're retarded,
want to
but
do different things.
Yeah.
And if you're Zack Snyder, you're like, Batman's no kill rule? That's for children.
I think
Kill
you should
rule.
kill. If you're living in a dream world, if you think your superhero hasn't donated to dirty politicians, like what the fuck are you talking about? I can't wait for the Snyder cut though. I'm gonna watch all 4 hours and blow my brains out on the white floor.
It's gonna be
Jesus
garbage,
Christ.
man. It's good. Like,
I'll watch it. Can we watch it together?
yes.
I'm not
Can't
watching
wait.
it. Honestly, I
Never mind.
like the idea that if like Batman and Goku exist in the same world, it implies that Batman is capable of learning ki.
Yeah, that would be broken.
Well, Batman has said he knows every form of fighting, so probably.
Yes,
you
if
might already know
he,
Keith.
he traveled the world to learn every martial art in his youth. And so if he exists in the Dragon Ball world, that means he at some point probably met some kind of master from Dragon Ball that knows how to teach Ki.
Real quick, who would win, Superman or Homelander from The Boys?
Superman, hardcore,
Superman,
easy.
yeah,
How?
but
How?
Superman.
How?
just because Superman has a lot more strengths. Like Superman, or Homelander has super strength, flying, and heat vision, but Superman also has the ability to reverse time and freeze people. So he could
what
probably
the fuck?
he could probably just literally like freeze,
Okay. How
freeze,
about Kevin Spacey Superman movie? Who would
that
win?
Superman? It's
Yeah.
it's still that Superman. Like there's not any.
Can he
different
still
powers.
reverse time and freeze
Probably.
people?
Yeah, he's like it's
He
just
doesn't do it in
not-
the movie though.
No, but it's just a power with Superman.
But
like it doesn't have to be.
Not Superman. I'm
Here-
saying Superman in that movie
Here's
versus
here's,
Homelander.
here's all
Yeah.
that really has to be said.
He
Homelander,
doesn't freeze time.
But he can like I was gonna say he also does cold breath and he can just freeze Homelander.
Does he
and then just
does he
punch him.
cold breath in that movie?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a point.
Homelander genetically is a human being
Yeah.
who has been altered. Superman is an alien who derives his powers from the sun. So Homelander not having any real power source means that like what you see from him is what you get from him.
Mm-hmm.
Superman
Because he can charge up.
can charge up. Superman can just fly to the sun and get incredibly more powerful, come back, and Homelander would not be able to reach his limit.
Mhm.
Yeah. I know that no, by now you can go.
And just like purely from the way the characters are, Superman would make a fool out of Homelander.
Yeah, he
very,
like,
very
Homelander would be
easily.
calling him a cocksucker, motherfucker, and Superman. Would
Homelander
just be like, okay.
gets butt hurt.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
he's
I like
got
I like
a very
that about him too.
fragile ego.
Yeah.
but he's like the most powerful person ever too, which is interesting.
And when he
Yeah.
meets someone that doesn't go down with just one punch or one laser eye, he would freak the fuck out. And
Yeah.
Superman could hard mind game him
yep,
by
And,
just being like, "Hey, man, you got to stop."
yeah, you gotta go home. There is one character in the comics though that can kill and beat Homelander. I'm not gonna say who it is because
Please don't
when
spoil it.
no, but because if it happens in the TV show, holy shit, it'd be very
It's a
interesting.
huge
But
twist.
yeah, it's a very huge twist. That you're like, what the fuck? But I mean, if Homelander can be beat, then yeah, he can probably be beat by Superman. So yeah, it's an interesting matchup. Homelander's such a well written character
He
in the
is.
comics and in the show too. In the comics, he's a little too edgelordy, but as I've been learning, like he's like not too far off from the show. He's a lot more violent and cruel, but in the comics. But I think with censors on TV, like they can't go that far.
Yeah.
So, but
I
season
don't-
3 apparently is gonna like be fucking crazy for Homelander.
I don't give a shit about Superman. To me,
I don't
he's
either.
just so uninteresting. It
Mhm.
just like does not make sense. I would always root for Batman if there was a matchup between these two.
Yeah, a lot of Superman media doesn't adapt him well in terms of like the live action video game sense. But there are I think there's like a few comics that like adapt him well, and I think Random Guy, who's an action figure YouTuber who's been around since like YouTube started, he like does like these pair ups of like superheroes like Marvel and DC, and they talk about their differences in movies or comics, and it's like there's like storylines in it. It's really cool. He has like some really interesting arcs with Superman where it's like, oh yeah, his importance is needed, and I can understand why like he's needed, but like Superman as a character, I don't care for much really.
I care more about Lex Luthor than
Lex
I care
Luthor is
about
very interesting.
Superman.
Yeah,
Because I want Lex Luthor to win. Because he's just a guy, a smart guy.
have you all seen
just a guy.
Smallville?
No,
I watched
No?
a bit of it.
is that the
Yeah.
one with the girl?
I don't know. There's a lot of girls in TV shows.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
So
don't
probably.
I don't interact with a lot of Superman media because most of it is not like very, very good. But I think the appeal to Superman is that he just wants to be more like us and that he's he just wants to be a human being, that he has all this power and he only uses it to really help people. And at the end of the day, he doesn't choose to be Kal-El. He chooses to be Clark Kent, who's just a reporter trying to make a difference in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I've always liked Superman. I've never like loved him, but I do give a shit about him. He's a good character. He's hard to write sometimes because of how honest he is. But the best Superman media I've ever interacted with is Superman Smashes the Klan, which was a radio show. It was the Superman radio show. And this was like back in the 50s or 60s or something. And the people running the show wanted to talk about the KKK.
Mm-hmm.
And they used their platform and their character to expose a lot of the just evil in the KKK that wasn't that the public wasn't really aware of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
So wait, when was this written?
like back in the 50s or 60s.
Okay.
And it was like a multi-part radio show just about Superman being like, these people are not doing the right thing, and you should not be
Wow.
supporting them. And it led, like, they got actual people who have been like actual reporters and people who have been trying to expose the KKK for a long time, and then used the Superman show that a lot of people in America were listening to expose how bad the KKK was.
That's awesome.
And then last year that got adapted into a comic book.
Oh, really?
A little 3-part comic book, mostly geared towards like kids,
Mm.
like from its art style and just the simplicity of the story.
Yeah.
But it was an awesome, awesome story to read because it just adapted that radio show and told a good story about standing up to bigotry and being a good person and
That's
showing
cool.
humanity to everyone.
Yeah.
Dude, killing the Ku Klux Klan in Red Dead is so fucking fun because it's like sometimes it's like when you kill them, like if you kill an innocent civilian, your morality rate will go down and it'll like show like a dark cowboy.
Oh my god.
So when you kill the Ku Klux Klan, it goes up a little bit. So it's like, okay, I like that. Sometimes you can like kidnap them and you can feed them to like fucking alligators or some shit. It's really funny. I haven't done that, but I've seen people do that. It's
I've
really
seen
funny.
videos of people like dragging them and putting them on train tracks.
It's
and
great.
stuff.
It's great. Yeah. And NBC. Oh, sorry.
There's a similar thing in Assassin's Creed where like your synchronization level will go down if you're doing something that your ancestors wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your ancestors wouldn't like kill a peasant for no reason while they go in to feed their kids.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I feel like I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a consequence? Like, do you
no,
get kicked
it's
out?
just like
No, there's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah,
if,
there's
if you get caught like killing an NPC in Red Dead, like then yeah, like a NPC will run off and tell the town or
No,
like, tell the
I
police.
mean
Oh.
in Assassin's Creed.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
yeah.
That's funny.
It kind of sucks how like when there's stuff like that where it's like your morality goes down, it doesn't affect like your story. Like if you're playing the campaign, because like I will murder like so many innocent civilians. I'll go back to camp and be like, Arthur, I need you to help the whores eat some hay, and that's it. Like it doesn't like affect like none of like my members say like, hey, like what the fuck is wrong with you? Like it'd be interesting, but it's like there's only I guess so much you can fit into a game, I guess, which sucks. But I don't know.
In Fallout 3, so you can get followers in Fallout 3 and they follow you and they shoot things with you and they talk to you and it's really cool. And I didn't want to play the game alone, and I knew it would make me feel better if I had a follower with me. And so the first follower you can get is this guy named Jericho. And under almost all conditions, you go and talk to him, and he's like, "Oh, you're a little too weak for me. I think you're a sissy, and I don't want to be following you around because you're a sissy baby." And I was like, "Why won't like he's just teasing me? Like, surely there's a way to get him to follow me." And so I looked it up, and you have to you have this morality meter from like angel to devil. And when you do good things, you get more points to your, angel side of your morality. If you do bad things like kill people and steal things. kill innocent people and steal things, you go towards the devil side of the meter. And there's almost no way to get it all the way to the chaotic evil meter, which you need to get Jericho this early in the game. So you come out and you're already like good on the meter, and there's only 2 things that you can do to get to all the way bad so that you can get him as a follower right off the bat. One is to do what I did on my first playthrough, and to go and steal as many things as you can, because everything that you steal makes the meter go down and makes you more evil. And so I would just keep stealing, and there was like this person's house, and you just go in and steal everything, and they yell at you and try to kill you, and you just keep stealing. That's one way.
I'll do that.
And
Red
then
Dead.
the and it took me like 2 hours to like steal so many things that I was evil. But the other thing that you can do is when you start off the game, you're in a vault with all these people, and the world has ended and stuff, and you're there to be safe. You have this childhood best friend. I can't remember her name, but she talks to you and is like, "Oh, hey, it's really nice to see you." If you can choose to call her fat, and if you do that, you're already all the way evil.
Look, fat.
Wow.
So you go and
That's it? You get evil immediately?
yeah, you go and you
Holy
talk you
shit.
talk to your childhood best friend. She's like, "Oh, hey, first day of class, like today's awesome." You call her fat, and then you get out of the vault, and then you can get Jericho, because by that point you're already all the way evil.
Damn. I know that.
That's really funny.
There's-
Yeah.
The devs had a really good sense of humor
Yeah.
there.
Speaking of like breaking into places in Red Dead, I was like not given a task, but like when you're on your map, it'll like create like this gray circle and it'll like flash, and it's like, oh, this is like an NPC in need of help, or there's something going on over here. So I go into this house and I like walk in slowly, and there's like this dad like beating his kid because he's like an alcoholic and he's a bum and he like can't pay rent, I think. I can't remember the financial part, but like I remember I walk in, he's beating his kid. I'm like, oh, I feel bad. So I like walk up and I shoot the dad and kill him. And then
Oh
like
my
the kid is like,
God.
you just killed my dad. I'm like, you ungrateful piece of shit. Like I just killed your dad from beating you up. NPCs are weird like that.
Would you do that in real life?
I
No.
mean,
I know that like the world. I know it's the world isn't shall where it's like, oh, thank you. There's a gray area. Or to like the kid would like still be like mad that like you killed his dad, but
given how fucked up that situation is,
yeah,
the reaction makes a
it's-
level of sense.
it's just funny how like he's like beating the fuck
So
out of him, and
I think it would make more sense if the NPC just fucking ran away in fear. Because
oh no, he does eventually, but like I can also like rob him too, but like I'm not gonna rob a kid. You're broke.
if my dad was beating the shit out of me and then some stranger walks in and then shoots my dad in the head, I would lose all sense of reality
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
And my brain would turn off and I'd just be in fight or flight.
You should be grateful.
Yeah. I know that like sometimes like you can this is like a little complaint I have, like I wish there was like just a general basis of consequence like I was talking about, like I just wish that you could either have the choice to really, really be an outlaw, or you can actually be a genuine, like, good cowboy in the game. Because, like,
I know what you mean. I know
The
what
story
you
will
mean.
allow you to, like, kill people and, like, end up being wanted. Because, like, if you want to progress the story, then you got to do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
But it's like, I kind of wish it was like, I'm going broke on money. I can either get a job in the town, I can show up there every day, and like maybe the game has like some kind of time limit to where if you don't show up, then you're fired and you gotta find another job.
That'd probably be really boring.
Yeah.
It would, but it like I feel like you could like have
There-
some character development.
There
there
are games like that in Roblox
Yeah.
where you just get a job.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And you can either get a job working at the burger stand, you can get a job working at the clothing
Right.
store, and then people come up to you and buy a burger, and then you
But I
say,
mean, like,
okay.
I mean, like a job with like
That's also
With-
Roblox gameplay.
I mean, like-
Yeah.
I
No,
feel
no,
like
no,
you can make
This
something
is-
much
this is
more
a-
engaging.
Okay, but do you want to play a game where you could be an outlaw and rob trains and stuff, or you could work at a grocery store and scan items and then
I don't
take
mean
people's
like
money.
I don't mean like that, but I mean like in a sense of where, like there's you get to know the characters there, and there's like more of like more of a weight on like if something happens, like if you go this route, the store ends up getting robbed, and then like the guy you've been talking to gets fucking shot in the head, then like you end up like killing him, and then the town is like
That
sus
would
of
be
you.
more interesting.
Yeah,
but
and it's like-
overall,
Oh no,
it would just
I can
be
understand it.
I'm going to work today.
But you are given.
I'm making rent today.
You can come across tasks.
Oh, this customer was an asshole.
You create an entire world where you could be a cowboy. There's like thousands of characters, but you have to go shoe shine this morning.
Yeah.
Israel would give his character a 12-hour shift,
Yeah.
and then be like, I don't want
I'm gonna burn down the shop.
I don't want my character to work that, and so then he'd walk into that job and then kill everyone there, and then
I'm
wonder
trying to
why
buy
his
a
I
horse.
would not
morality
do that
meter
on my
went
actual
away.
job. To be safe, at FBI.
I'm trying to buy a horse.
No one said you were doing that in real life.
I know, but I'm just saying I would not actually do that. It's-
You feeling
I
like
would
you have
do
to
it in an
clarify
NPC
that
game.
right there, as we
I'm
were
just
talking
saying.
about a video game, makes it more sus.
I don't want to. I don't
Among
wanna,
Us reference.
Among Us.
Among Us.
that an Among Us reference?
No, but like you can like
Did someone say sus?
you can. Sorry about my nose today, by the way. I
No one
sound
knows
like,
about your nose
okay,
today.
never mind. I don't know. I don't know if it projects well to like how I sound.
No,
But
you sound fine.
like you are given like tasks like by like civilians in the game where it's like, help me like find these dinosaur bones all across like the map, and like you can do that, or you don't have to either. Like you can never talk to that person again, and then like it will not affect the game or like the story. Like there's this really there's this really good video, which kind of like what I've kind of been referencing, by Nakey Jakey, called Red Dead is very outdated, or the gameplay or just the general basis of it is very outdated in like a little bit of a sense. And it's a really interesting video where they like kind of go over everything. It's like, yeah, granted, I haven't been to Red Dead at all yet. I probably have like 30% of the story complete. So yeah.
But you have at least 90% of the supporting cast NPCs
Yep.
murdered.
Yeah. No, the supporting cast can't fucking die, which is something I wish would happen. Not that you could kill them.
I meant the random NPC civilians.
yeah, I don't care. They can die.
By the end of the game, there's going to be like 12 people left
Yeah.
in this entire world.
Yeah,
Because those are the ones you can't kill.
no, I can't kill the fucking bounty hunters because they all run up on me and they just shoot like everything that they have, and it kills me. And it's still one time I was able to get a bounty hunter gang and kill them all, and I got some decent cash from it.
One of my little brothers, he was playing this game, Red Dead Redemption 2. It's the second one, right?
Did his character like have like a
The new one.
beer? Yeah.
Okay, so he was playing it, and I was like, "Hey, can I play?" And then he was like, "Yeah, but I'm trying to be good." And I was like, "Well, I don't want to be good." And then he's like, "Okay, let me save the game." And like he was telling me like that, and like he has to be an outlaw to play the game, but he tries to do every good choice that he can. And then I just shot his horse, and he was like, "What are you doing?"
I accidentally did kill my horse at some point, or I think when I got my horse, I think I meant to click lead, but I hit circle, and that's to punch it, and I punched my horse in the ass, and he immediately kicked me, and I died instantly.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Imagine being that horse though. Like you're with this faithful companion that takes care of you,
Yeah.
and like you've seen it on all these adventures and like help people. And then, the guy, he gets off the horse and he walks away. And then he just
shoots.
kind of stands there for a little bit. This is when the controller handoff is happening in
Yeah.
real life. And then the horse, he notices the game just saved. And he's like, okay. And then his faithful companion just turns around and just starts unloading into him.
Well, you can go to like I forget. I think it's Fort Wallace. I don't know if that's a real place or not, but it's like a Civil War north side. What was the name for the there was the South and the North in the Civil War, right? Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
The good guys. You can go to the good guys base, and you can like throw dynamite and like fuck them up.
The
But, like,
North
they
were the
will-
good guys.
Huh?
The North were the good guys.
That's I said the North. The good
Okay.
guys. Did I say the South? The good
No,
guys.
you were just saying the North or the South, the good guys, whichever, you know.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Don't. Yeah. I don't have a Confederate flag in my room.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. That was an obscure reference to a video we were watching a while
Dude,
ago.
the funny.
Okay.
Remember Golden Boy?
Okay. Did we talk about Golden Boy?
No,
we
but
didn't. Okay,
there-
so
there's this one anime we've been watching
it's
called
called Golden Boy.
Boy.
It is so good. It is like the funniest anime I've ever seen.
The first 2 episodes really peak, but it has a little bit of. That's actually going back to our real quick, like our anime topic. That's
Yeah.
like one of the most realistic animes I've ever seen, minus an episode involving a bike.
Okay, so we had a day where all day we were just watching the first episode of things because we were really bored, I guess. And it got to Tristan, who is on our underwater shaving episode. Go check it out. And it was his turn to pick a first episode, and he picked the first episode of this anime called Golden Boy. And that first episode, it was 30 minutes of a show that is like 6 episodes, I believe, and it was incredible. It was a fan dub of the show because they never dubbed it in the US, and it was like probably the funniest thing I've seen in a while. It was amazing. And we watched the whole thing that night. Right after that, we never took a break. We just went back to back,
Yep.
watched the whole thing. And I wanted to show Robbie and Caleb the first episode because it's a pretty good first episode.
Oh yeah, it's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I showed it to them. I don't know if you liked it. I don't know.
I liked it.
Okay.
I
And
showed him the second.
I mean, I was like, Jesus Christ, and like, what the fuck the whole time
Mhm.
because it's so absurd.
it's very
but,
absurd.
I mean, if you've seen Kill la Kill, you've seen something even more absurd. So
Yeah.
Golden Boy was very approachable
Yeah.
to me. It's just when you're watching an anime and then this character walks out with just fucking massive boobs that just have the strangest fucking physics, you're gonna always be caught off guard a little bit.
Yeah. And so the show is about this guy who rides a bike and he says, my name is Kentaro Oe. I'm a freeder, which means I specialize in part-time jobs. And every single episode is like a different part-time job that he's working and all of his antics. Anyways, so the intro the intro that plays at the beginning of every episode shows this guy putting on sunglasses and getting ready to ride his bike and then finally riding his bike. And that's the entire intro.
By the way, he goes out of his garage onto the highway.
Yeah. He opens
It's
his
so
garage
true.
door.
And it's a highway.
Yeah. he opens his garage door.
Like
yeah.
you imagine it like it's in the middle of a fucking highway and people would like
There's also-
drive around it or
There's
drive
also
through
a
it.
shot where he's riding his bike on the highway and he's faster than the car.
yeah.
Man, I
Now
feel
that,
like
that happens a lot. in
Yeah.
the
I feel
show.
like if
Yeah.
I feel like if I drove past that fucking like house every day on the highway, I would eventually just run through it. Like out of spite. It's like, what the fuck did you plan?
Anyways,
Yeah.
all this is to say that someone did a live action recreation of that intro of this guy in his garage suiting up
Here,
and then getting on his bike.
1 second. Yeah, I wanted to listen to the intro, and so I looked it up, and then I found it, and then I saw that someone made a live action version. I watched it, and I saw something pretty funny in it, and then I forgot about it. Israel gets nosy sometimes, and he likes to look through my YouTube history.
Yeah.
I'll hand you all the reins.
Yeah.
Yeah, Israel loves to be nosy and look through your
I
fucking
love looking
history.
through everybody's history.
He'll look through my likes on Twitter and then be like, "Why'd you like this?
I
What
look
what
through-
is that?"
I look through everybody's likes.
Anyways.
To be fair.
So he was looking through your watch history one day because he was bored, and then he pulls that up, and then it's like, it's just your standard low budget anime intro, you know, like the guy's doing his best with the resources he has, and he's in his garage, and it's a pretty easy intro to recreate, you'd think. And then on the wall in the background is just a Confederate flag.
It's like, what the fuck?
And every shot makes
And the
sure
guy-
to have it partially framed.
And the
Like
guy-
it's
It's just-
never
yeah.
fully in frame. It's
But
always like
no.
a corner or
slightly
half
there.
of it.
It's awful.
It's so funny
I
because
know.
that is definitely intentional just to fuck with you.
It's funny because the guy suiting up doesn't look like Golden Boy at all. Like he looks like a fucking like a hick. It's really funny.
He definitely was a hick if he had a
Yeah.
Confederate flag.
I like anime.
Not saying all hicks are Confederates.
Hashtag not all hicks.
I think that was just an intentional bit.
Yeah, it
I
was
don't-
really
I don't think
funny.
he had his Confederate flag in his garage and then he filmed that intro and then he's like, "Wait, fuck." Like
Why
with
do you-
with
why
with,
do
with
you
how
put, like a censor bar and it's like, what the fuck is that?
with how partially framed it is, that's hardcore intentional.
And it's in 2 frames and that's it. Or it's in
Yeah.
like 2 shots and that's it.
Like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But like it's enough that when you first notice it, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the next shot has it, and then the next shot has it. It's like, yeah, I love that. That's so
watching it, I
funny.
was like, wait, is that what I think it is? And then we pause again. We're like, what the fuck?
I busted out laughing when I
Yeah.
first saw
I
it.
came downstairs and I saw y'all laughing, and then Israel's like, "What is this? What have you been watching? What is this?" And I was like, "What? Like what? You fucking nosy piece of shit."
He'll
Honestly-
always do that, by the way. Like something like I hate it when you go through my Twitter likes. I feel like I should just stop liking tweets.
You just block me.
Shut up, man.
No, you can do that.
Like,
Just make another app.
Yeah.
Just go on Parlor.
Yeah,
Fuck
just move
that.
the parlor.
Robbie's Parlor account. Look through his likes.
I would have
Robbie
nothing on
almost went to the
Parlor.
Capitol, but he
I
had
would
to work
have
that
nothing
day.
to see on Parlor. A lot of people I follow have been switching to like Minds lately.
What is
But
that?
That sounds cringe.
Some other fucking
MINES?
Yeah, MINDS.
Oh, Minds. Okay.
Minds.
Zuh.
My nuts.
But like, I wouldn't leave Twitter unless if I got like banned on Twitter somehow. I would just not use that form of social media anymore. Anyways, I hate when you do that
I don't. It's
because
funny.
I'll just like something I thought was funny, and then
Sometimes-
you'll think I liked it unironically, or that I
Sometimes your
agreed with
likes
something
will
someone
come up
said.
in my timeline because I don't follow that many people, so it'll end up to the point of where blank like this, blank like this, blank like
Yeah.
this.
That's a
So it'll
scary
be that.
thing. 'Cause
Yeah, it's weird.
sometimes I like some scary things,
Yeah.
like that Donald Trump video.
What one? Like where he's doing the jerk off dance?
Yeah.
That one's funny. I don't. If
No, the
I know
one
a lot of-
yesterday where someone deep faked Donald Trump giving
Oh,
someone a hand job.
yeah, that
And then
came
you
up.
showed that to everyone, and then you're
No,
like, Robbie
Tristan-
liked this.
No,
Robbie liked
no,
this.
Tristan was looking at my phone and he said, "What the fuck?" while like somebody was talking, and I was like, "Wait, did you see what I saw?" And he said, "Yeah." And then Marcus was like, "What is this?" And I said, "Okay, Robbie liked this picture, just to clarify." So, but yeah, it was a deep fake of Donald Trump jerking somebody off.
It's so
I
funny.
feel like you have a lot of
so-
opinions about digital privacy, Robbie.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I don't know,
Wow,
true.
that's
That's
insane.
I think privacy is important,
Hey, I
Even
also,
if you-
I also think it's important.
even if you have nothing to hide.
I also think it's important.
I think you're trying to segue into something here, Marcus. What is that?
I think he already did. What are your like?
Oh.
You're really dense today.
I did like wake up an hour ago.
Yeah.
I'm actually impressed with how like sober I feel right now. Yeah, you know, it's funny because I do value digital privacy.
What? Do you have something to hide?
No, but Google does own me.
Yeah.
Like, I pay for YouTube Premium. I also recently started paying for Google Drive or whatever because I've been using my YouTube account since like 2013. So Google has 8 years of data on me. I use Google Maps to get places. I use Google Chrome as my web browser.
That's a bad idea.
Why is that?
I just I'm
Google
biased against Google Chrome.
Google already
Okay.
has all my data,
Google
man.
Chrome is so quick for me though. Like Safari is so slow, but
True.
Google Chrome is like
It
Hey.
used to pride itself as being a open source and like free.
Isn't that what
browser.
Opera is?
Opera is?
Yeah.
Firefox is.
Mhm.
If you want something that is completely open source and free, do Firefox and do Opera. And there's probably a few other browsers out there, but those are the big two. But yeah, Google Chrome. It started like limiting what add-ons you can and can't put on there. There was a big debacle about them taking off ad blockers for a while because ad blockers
Of
make
course they
Google
did
money
that, yeah.
because Google AdSense is huge. And so and Google Chrome is huge. And so and these ad blockers are also huge. So yeah, they do a few upsetting things and they sell your information to
Yeah.
themselves.
That's like there's nothing much I can do about that. And so
You could switch your browser. Actually, there's a lot of things you can do, but it's annoying.
yeah, I can get a VPN and pay for that.
But even
and
that's
I
not
can
enough.
do this and that, and it's like it's so far out of my way.
Yeah.
When I just don't care enough. Now, I will support any politician that is wanting to do something about that.
Mm-hmm.
People like Andrew Yang believe that if people are buying and selling your data, that you should get a share of that. That you should
That's
get a
true.
dividend.
Yeah.
True.
That's yeah. I never thought about that.
And I think his people are currently like doing some kind of lawsuits in California against places like Google to make that happen. So we'll see where that goes.
Wow.
I think I signed up for that, but I don't.
Yeah.
I haven't. They said, "Oh, we'll email you updates," but I haven't gotten.
I got an
any emails.
email a while ago.
I got a confirmation email, I think.
From like the data dividend people, and they're like, Google Plus fucking sucked. And I'm like, yeah, Google Plus did suck. And they're like, also, if you qualify, Google Plus wasn't as transparent about what it did with your data as it claimed, and Google might owe you $12. And so I had to fill out like a form, and I'm waiting for my $12 now.
Nice.
If Google ends up paying me, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Because I pay so much money to Google.
Mm-hmm.
Because they recently fucking... The only email account I have is Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
And Gmail, you have limited like storage on. Like Google Drive and everything is linked to it, and you have limited storage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like a few gigs, which isn't much, but it's also a lot for just emails.
Yeah.
But I've had this account for 8 years. And like a few years ago, they gave me some kind of free upgrade that would go from like 10 gigs to like 100 for free. And then like last month, whatever trial period that was, which I don't ever think was a trial period. I think Google just got tired of giving me free shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like, hey, by the way, yeah, your 100 gigs is back down to 10, and you have like 15 gigs of data right now. So you're going to get deleted or you have to pay up. And it's like $1 a month. So I was like, fuck it. I don't feel like making a new email and transporting everything. So now I pay them more money. I can't wait to see what they'll do next. Like they'll probably be like, "Hey, you use Google Maps a lot. If you want to go more than 2 miles on Google Maps, you
that
have
would
to
be
pay us a
so
subscription."
trash.
I would hate it, but I'd probably do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's annoying, but I could totally see that happening.
It just sucks. So you can't do too much about it, other than like people in power can really do. Like you can get the word out and put articles out and petitions, but like really like you got to make sure that like I guess the people that can do something, if they want to do something, will do it.
Right. But they're
you know?
also already in the pocket of these lobbyists.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's
There are like a few people that aren't lobbyists, which not to get political, but I think Andrew Yang, AOC, and a few other people. As
They're
far
all
as we know.
lobbyists. Everyone in politics is a lobbyist.
Yeah.
When I was working with Environment Texas over the summer, I don't know if I've ever name dropped them before, but
I think
they're a lobby group.
okay.
Lobbying is just spending money in Congress.
Mm-hmm.
You are spending money to get lawmakers to listen to you or to vote for something.
Mm.
So, I mean, I guess AOC isn't a lobbyist because she's a lawmaker, but everyone involved in it is a lobbyist. When people are complaining about lobbyists, they're complaining about corporate lobbyists.
Okay.
Yes.
Your Exxons, your Shells, your Googles, your Facebooks, because they got the big bucks.
Mhm.
Of course.
And when you're just a citizen and you're trying to lobby for something, you don't have a lot of money. So they can just outspend you. And so politicians are going to be like, well, they're spending more money, so I'm going to listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
A few more things about digital privacy. Windows 10 has had the same what do you call them?
Format.
No, Windows 10 has had the same backdoor exploits for ever since Windows 10 has came out. And those same backdoor exploits, I don't know if it was actually released by the NSA or leaked, but they can be used to unapologetically just listen to your microphone and look at your webcam. And which, like, if they were to look through my webcam or listen to my microphone, they wouldn't see anything interesting at all. Which they would just see me looking at my computer, or they'd see me sitting in my room, like, I don't know. And so, like, but again, it's like, it doesn't matter that you have nothing to hide. It matters that they're doing it, and they're doing it when they shouldn't be able to do it. I don't know if Windows 10 ever fixed that. I'm pretty sure they
Probably
just
not.
intended on keeping it that way. And and so people were like, "Oh, why were they pushing for Windows 10 so hard? Is that the reason?" Who knows? But I used to be on the semi-popular internet forum 4chan when I was in high school, just because I was interested. And there was a lot of people who really care about the whole privacy thing. And they have this certain computer with a separate hard drive with a certain operating system that wipes itself every time the computer's turned off. They keep there's no microphone in the computer. There's no webcam in the computer. They do this and that, and they protect their browsing like to the T. So that
And how much does that PC build cost?
like less than $100 because it's a piece of shit laptop.
Oh, okay.
But these are all things that Edward Snowden said that you should do if you want to keep your privacy, and also things like having an Android phone with a certain operating system. One mobile operating system that is not secure at all, or at least wasn't when this instance happened, was BlackBerry. BlackBerry, their operating system was very like easily exploitable, and people could just tap into people's devices and then get information off of it, which is bad because Barack Obama, while he was in office, had a BlackBerry, and that was his main phone.
Damn.
And so if somebody with bad intentions got really lucky and knew how, they could, if they wanted, steal information off of the president's phone, which is not a good thing at all. And so then they get into like, oh, should politicians have certain privacy-free phones or privacy phones, or I don't know. But
One of the most like, I don't know the like exact word, but like eye-opening or like sobering things in some ways. Like you would think politicians, our lawmakers, our government, they would have that like extra security on their devices. And then you learn that no, Obama had a BlackBerry. Hillary Clinton just used a regular fucking insecure email. Donald Trump uses a Twitter account that supposedly was easy to hack at one point.
Yeah.
There was a hacker that claimed he hacked into Donald Trump's account and that his password was just like MAGA 123 or some dumb shit.
Oh my God.
He didn't tweet anything. He just reported that. So it could have just been lying, but it's interesting in a way because in some way it makes them feel closer to you and less like they are actually above you, that they're not.
They're also vulnerable to things.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you could like hack Trump's Twitter account, rip, by the way, not really rip, but what would you guys like put?
Here, I'll say this. I think this might be silly, but I think you should be taught like how to be safe on the internet more at schools. Like you should change your password, every 6 months, and they should be different passwords for different things, and you should keep a log of all these passwords.
Oh,
I'm
sorry to interrupt.
I'm so bad at that. Like I'm not
I
gonna go
am
any
too.
further.
I use the same passwords, and I just change how many exclamation points I
Yes.
have.
I've stopped doing that.
Really?
And
I
it's-
let
no,
Google
it's-
make all my passwords now.
Oh, I started having Apple's keychain make my passwords.
And so Google, I forgot, also owns all of my passwords and login information for every website I've ever been to.
But that information's probably tied to your account, and they probably don't have access to it.
And I probably should say this now. That's a scary thing to put out there because
is.
now I've made myself very vulnerable.
Another thing, this happened with when the iPhones had the Thumb ID scanner. Everybody is worried that their thumbprint would go out into the internet, and everybody would have their thumbprint now, like a record of it. But Apple had to make sure that there was nothing in the phone that connected the thumbprint data to the internet at all. And so it's all local on the device. But then they did Face ID. I don't know if Face ID
don't do
is.
Face ID at all.
I
Like
don't-
it's just
yeah.
where you put your phone
Yeah,
up.
I don't know if
do
Face
that.
ID is local on the device. I don't know if it is or not.
I type that shit in. all the time.
I hate facial recognition technology, and I will never support the use of it.
Yeah.
I do not use Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook filters ever, like ever, because I do not support that technology
Yeah.
existing. And I know that it's going to exist regardless, but I will not compromise on that. I will never put my face
Yeah.
through a filter.
But yeah, people in high school and stuff should be taught like how to be safe on the internet a lot more, because like
Yeah.
if you're raising future leaders, those
Right.
future leaders need to know how to not like be exploited one day, or need to know how to keep themselves safe and their families safe by being safe online. And
The problem with that, and a problem I wanted to mention, it's boomers who
yeah,
are in power right now and
Mhm.
who are responsible for
it's also
learning and
boomers who are
teaching
getting
these
hacked.
things. And they grew up in the 40s and 50s and
Mhm.
60s when you didn't have cell phones or internets, and they
Poor.
couldn't tell you how to be safe or responsible online because they don't know how to do it.
Like Ted Cruz liking that one porn video.
Or-
Oh, man.
and then
What,
Israel
Anthony
went through his
Weiner?
likes.
Didn't he
Oh.
do something?
Oh yeah,
Probably.
he cheated on his wife twice and got caught both times and got humiliated online for both.
I
of it.
remember one time Donald Trump was doing a review of The Dark Knight Rises, and he just talked about how his movie was in there, and then he just starts talking shit about Anthony Weiner in the review for no fucking reason.
Before
It's
Donald
really
Trump,
troll.
before he was president, he had this YouTube series called "From the Desk of Donald Trump."
Really?
And it
he
was
would sometimes review movies, and he
it was
gets-
just his boomer rants about whatever was going on. And yeah, one of those videos was him reviewing The Dark Knight Rises,
Mhm.
and he was like, "Great movie. It had great cinematography. I loved it. You couldn't have made this movie 10 years ago. Also, my tower, Trump Tower, has a role in it."
it doesn't have a role. It probably gets blown up.
As if like his tower is an actor and like had an influential part in the
He
movie.
goes, so Anthony Weiner is like this really scummy. It's like,
But I don't think Donald Trump knows how to talk about movies because he just kept saying the cinematography was good.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you asked him what cinematography is, he wouldn't
The way
know
the
what to
camera
tell
moves.
What about the sound mixing, Donald?
you.
I can't hear.
Yeah, and then after he said his tower was in the movie, he then just started rambling about Anthony Weiner. And one of his best tweets ever before he got deleted was, "Pervert alert. Anthony Weiner is back on Twitter. If you're under 18, stay
Oh my
away."
God.
Holy shit!
Well,
That's how he's letting us know he's one of us.
Israel, to answer your question, if I had access to Donald Trump's Twitter, I would tweet out, "Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Star Bandits podcast. If you would like to support us further, feel free to listen to next week's episode. You can also send us an email at starbanditspodcast@gmail.com, and you can support our Patreon at patreon.com/starbanditspodcast. In the meantime, I'm your co-host, Marcus Delzell. You can find me on all my social media at Marcus Delzell.
I'm Israel. You can find me on Twitter at Depresrel. Yeah.
Thank you for listening. My name's Junaid. My Instagram is Junaid JUNEID__M.
This has been Robbie Bland. Thank you for listening to this calmer episode of the Star Bandits podcast. As usual, you can find all of my social media at Bland Clan Videos.
I'm Caleb. You can find me at Rock on Twitter and Stone and on Instagram.
Thank you for listening, everybody. Tune in next week.
Adios.